Hello and welcome to a new podcast. Good evening. By myself, the foul word. Also, as I said this before, guys, that is not my birth name. My name is Daniel. So, you can go by that. But, welcome to another podcast. And, I got a few things to discuss, obviously. A few things have happened since, the last episode. So how are you all been? It's Friday night. It's a late one here. I've had time to reflect over the news of Wenger getting that 2-year contract, and obviously I'll go into detail of my thoughts about that. But yes, it's enough. It's June now. It is June. It's officially summer, I guess you would say. It's something to look forward to. And it's officially transfer season as well. So it's a big time for the summer of football, I suppose. There's not a lot of football being played, but there's a lot of rumours, transfers, and bullshit talked about, of course. So, where I'm going to start the topic, and I think a lot of you have been thinking about what's happened the past few days, and I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm gonna have to talk about Wenger getting that deal. So it was Tuesday, reports coming in that Wenger had a 2-year deal signed with the club again, and yes, it is confirmed. It was confirmed that Arsene Wenger is gonna be Arsenal manager for another 2 years. Whew, my initial thoughts on this, it's a weird one. It's a weird one because at the moment, Wenger is the only man who, realistically, he is the only man who can, make Arsenal progress at this certain time. And don't get me wrong, I am up for changing and ready for that, but not ready to do a decline. And Wenger is the only man, and that's how the board see it. The board obviously see it that way. They don't want to risk it. They don't want to risk to lose all that money. And when you've got a trusty manager like Arsene Wenger, and who's trusted in the Premier League and can get you in positions, it's kind of hard to let go. So he's got his 2-year contract, Arsene Wenger, 16 million in them 2 years. He gets 9 million a year, big money payout. Yeah, I mean, they're talking about the ambition of the next season is to challenge for the title and to progress further in Europe. I guess that's more of the same old kind of talking about progression and ambition. Right, I'm just going to say a few things about what I was reading and I watched about the whole saga of this contract negotiation, and I watched Ivan Gazidis today talking about how to bring the club further and to promise more and to want to win. But when you think about, even he's talking about last year we came second. I mean, when Leicester won the league, obviously, but we were we totally dropped out of that race once we lost to Manchester United. That was that blown out, and yeah, we came second, but that's because Spurs fucked up. And previous seasons, when we were struggling with the likes of selling our best players, and you think about moving to the Emirates and everything else, we were closer to winning titles then than we are now. We have dropped such a standard, especially the season just gone. All of like the shambles of Arsenal Fan TV, Wenger Out Brigade, Civil War among Arsenal fans. I mean, this is a very big deal. Obviously, Wenger has now signed a 2-year contract, and if 2 defeats come in a row, like what happened last season at Everton, and then Man City with 2 wins in a row, or 2 losses in a row, sorry, it won't be long before the banners are again. It won't be long if Arsenal don't properly prepare throughout the summer, get their transfers done, get everything signed, prepared for the first game of the season, and don't win that first game of the season, Wenger Out Brigade. It's going to cause mayhem. Fans will be totally divided, and fans are totally divided right now. Of course they are. It's not like people just went, oh yeah, Wenger out all season, and then he won the FA Cup and just went, oh yeah, no, that's fine. Of course, people they've stuck to that. They're ready for a change. Them fans, that group. I don't want to be on the fence of anything, but I'm seeing that I think the best option is to keep Wenger at this moment and settle for the next 2 seasons. Obviously, it's not what you want. I don't see Arsenal winning the league next season. I don't see them winning it the following season after that. But if they give a good challenge in the Europa League, FA Cup, obviously that's the way it's going to be. Might challenge again and get up in the top 4 or top 2. But I don't see them winning the league. I don't see Wenger being able to grind out the type of challenge in the Premier League that he can do in an FA Cup. And let's be honest, this FA Cup final, it was brilliant. It was great to win. It was one of the great FA Cup final wins for Arsenal, considering the case that we're under. But 2 non-league sides to get to the final. I'm just putting it out there. That was what came to my realisation when all this shit came about of Wenger and all that. Yes, I remembered then Sutton and Lincoln was a bit of an easy run, I think. So it's a big deal for Wenger to sign this contract. I believe, in my eyes, and I think a lot of people do. It's added pressure, definitely added pressure to him, Wenger himself, and now the board for sticking by him, and they need to spend big. I've got my little notes here. I'm just gonna look out because obviously talk about it kind of covered over the goals, and the board have come out and said that Arsenal should be winning titles and everything. Well, this season has to be the one where they really go for it. I mean, really, when it's May, they have to be tight. They have to be up first or second to consider it promising the fans what they are going to deliver, hopefully. We'll have to see about that, but as I say, it's now transfer season, and rumours are coming about. Rumours have been flying about, and it was Thursday night that reports coming from France that Arsenal make 100 million euro bid for M'bappe. I don't know how much real. I don't know how real this story is, obviously, because you can tell that it's taken me a few moments to actually think about Arsenal, even Arsene Wenger, putting 100 million euro on the table for a player. This is the same board and manager that put 40 million and £1 for Luis Suarez. So, there could be a lot of doubt among this story, and reports obviously have come back that Monaco rejected the 100 million from Arsenal, because also Man City and Real Madrid, it seemed to be that I think it was like 110 million or something like that, so considering that Arsenal dropped the bid. But look, if that's the type of thing they're going to do, I'm all up for that. It's just a shock when I even read that 100 million. I was like, 100 million. It was nuts. But look, M'bappe is one of the most sought for young talents in Europe, easily, absolutely, at this current moment. All the top teams want him. And with a World Cup coming up next summer, maybe he is looking for that next elite level. No disrespect to the French league, obviously, but if you do step up your game, go into like the elite Premier League or the La Liga with the giants of Real Madrid and Barcelona, you're almost going to be I'm saying you'd be a guaranteed starter for your country in the World Cup, but I would expect someone like M'bappe to probably want to play Champions League football. I know that didn't stop Paul Pogba with anything last summer, but Paul Pogba you have to remember, he did play for Manchester United before moving on to Juve, so the connection was already made, and they've got the Champions League football for this season. So yeah, that's a surprise. But with transfers, I think Arsenal need to make significant signings, and in departments that are actually needed. It's simple. Go out and get a striker that will score 20 plus goals. Simple as, we got Lacazette, French. I know there's another French, but playing for Lyon. He was meant to go to Atletico, but their transfer market, they've had a bit of a crash, and it's held up to next summer, or until I think maybe winter. So he might want to get in the move and start expanding his chances to get in the national French team. So maybe put a big money move in that. I heard that United are going to go for him. So of course United talking about Grizmann, but Grizmann seems to be staying put with Atletico. Put up an Instagram post, a bit of Twitter saying it's time to stay all together, and put up himself, with Atleti. So is that a bit of a dead water situation? My opinion, I think he will stay. I think he will stay at Atletico Madrid. But big money can change matter over mind in a matter of seconds like that. Of course, Man United have a lot of money. That's the thing about Manchester United. They have a lot of money, and I would say he's on the card still. Talking about transfers as well, Manchester City are getting a lot of deals done. Well, we say a lot, but they're probably the most active club at the moment. Obviously signed Silva from Monaco, and got a goalkeeper from Benfica, Edmondson, I believe it is, 35 million. Big money signing. Two big money signings. I think they're looking for the French midfielder Mendy, I think it is, from Monaco, correct me on that, but getting deals done early. Yaya Toure signed also a year extension contract. So obviously Pep Guardiola didn't have the greatest season. This time last year, if you said to every Man City fan how much they're looking forward to the season, they would be jumping for, literally like kids on candy fucking birthday party or some shit. I can't really explain, but they'd be very excited. That's what I'm trying to say. They'd be very excited for the upcoming season, and that is due to Pep Guardiola. Wherever he goes, he brings success with them, and bit of a fuck up this season. Not a great season. Got third place. Not a trophy kind, but maybe now with his philosophy and with a bit of time, a full summer I suppose, sort out a backline, they could be a force to reckon with. But look, he's a stubborn man, Pep Guardiola, much like Wenger, and you just have to see what happens. Once again, a loss is devastating for the likes of Pep Guardiola. I think it does the same for Wenger. The two of them, when they lose a game, it really does kill their confidence. A major, like a lot, like very bad. Prescott on it a bit more now, obviously, of Arsene, but Pep doesn't like to lose, but he's very stubborn when he does come to losing. Last thing about with transfers that I saw today, anyway, was that Liverpool are talking with Roma about Salah. Very, very good player, Salah. Of course, used to play for Chelsea, went on to Roma, did some great things. They had one of their highest league campaigns in over like a few decades, maybe a decade or something like that. Yeah, very fast player, quite scary. The attacking lineup they could have with Mane, Roberto, Firmino, Philip Coutinho, Daniel Sturridge if he stays. That's a formidable. Like Adam Lallana, very nice forward line, and could cause a lot of problems in that Premier League. Of course, they have to sort out their back line as well, and sort out winning games from teams from the bottom half. And Liverpool could be a force to be reckoned with. Of course, they're in the Champions League. Have to go through the qualifying stage, of course, but will attract some more players. And if they get them, get the backline sort of, maybe a better goalkeeper, they can challenge that Premier League. They have a great forward line, don't get me wrong. I think their forward line is terrific. Philip Coutinho is a fantastic player, magician. Firmino is unbelievable as well. Mane speaks for himself. And then if they bring in the likes of Salah, frightening pace. And if I think about Arsenal, first game of the season just passed, obviously, and Liverpool just destroyed Arsenal that day with frightening pace from Mane. Of course, ended 4-3, but yeah, with Arsenal we're never really in that much. So it is currently Friday night, day before Champions League, so I'll give my brief preview about that game. Obviously, a lot of hype going into it. It's Champions League. It's gotta be. It's one of the best. It's the top elite European competition. Real Madrid versus Juventus, defense versus probably best attacking options in Europe. It's gonna be a tough game. It's teamwork versus individualism. It's Italian champions versus the Spanish giants and champions. Ronaldo versus Buffon. Buffon never won it. Real to win it now, second time in 2 seasons. It'll be the first time any team has ever won the Champions League in 2 seasons. The actual Champions League, of course. Yeah, it's going to be a really tough game. I think it's going to be a really interesting game. Very, very tough. You got the likes of Higuain. He'll have to prove himself in a big stage. Like, he's kind of let himself down in big finals. Obviously, the World Cup 2014, lost that, and he had some chances in the final to win it for them, and didn't put them away. So this is kind of a big chance for him to step up into this final, prove he's a game winner, a game changer. Ronaldo, well, he speaks for himself. It's Ronaldo. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. Loves Champions League finals. Loves being the main man. Scored the winning penalty last year. Buffon, you have to think about Buffon and that Juve defence with, the likes of Chiellini, Bonucci, Alessandro, Dani Alves, just a fantastic backline, and held out Barcelona. So it's going to be a very interesting final. I think my heart's telling me Juve, but my head's telling me Real Madrid. But I'm going to go for a Juve win. I think Juve will be able to pull this one out. It could be a very tight. It could be a 1-0 or a 2-1, or it could go right to extra time. But I feel Juve and Gigi Buffon will get that win, and he'll get his first Champions League trophy. And you know what? Fair play to him. He's won everything, and he's still one of the top league goalkeepers in the world right now. Maybe he's even top 3 easily. So that's it really. That's my little roundup of the week's action. It's a Friday night. I thought I'd better do something, and I had a few days to think about Arsenal again. It's like being, I don't know how to describe it, being an Arsenal fan at times. You kind of hear news and you're kind of like, is it really happening? Is this all real? Do I even witness all this shit all the time? I witness that all the time. It's clearly real. And I kind of just go into, I don't know, I kind of go into hibernation at times and just kind of contemplate it. I get tagged in things on Facebook, and I kind of go, no, this is really happening again. Like, I get tagged in things quite often. People that don't even know things about football just tag me in it because they're like, haha, you prick. And I'm like, you pricks. Nah, but I'll be back again. Obviously, have to be back again. There's a Champions League final to be watched tomorrow evening, and I've got to sort my life out outside football, and that will be hopefully sorted now in the next few days. I'm still in London. Get away if anyone gives a balls or a donkey's arse. Still in London. Hopefully be here for the summertime. And yeah. Apart from that, I'm gonna leave you on a note of saying Wenger is the Arsenal manager for another 2 years. Get some deals done, and get ready for the Wenger out signs. And gonna hope you all enjoy the Champions League football if you're watching the final. And I'm gonna go for a Juve win, and I'll leave you at that. So apart from that, hope you enjoyed the podcast. Remember, you can get me on all my social media, which I'll leave in the description below. And hope you enjoyed this podcast. Make sure to follow me and give me a like. And yeah, I'll be back again very soon. Apart from that, have a good one, and cheers for listening. Goodbye.